Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, and Pio Katipuneros disguised themselves as sailors and ships. In the ships carrying Jose Rizal, they offer to rescue and free Rizal, but Rizal refuses. Rizal received letters from Governor General Blanco which absolved him of the blame for the raging revolution. A telegraphic message was received ordering Rizal be placed under arrest. Rizal was sent to a prison fortress where he was interviewed with Governor General Disfual. He would be shipped back to Manila. On November 20, 1986, Rizal was brought before a Spanish military tribunal headed by Colonel Francisco Olive. Governor General appointed Captain Rafael Dominguez to institute charges against Rizal. Rizal trial began on December 26, 1986 in Fort Santiago, and he was charged with three crimes: rebellion, sedition, and formation of illegal association. At the age of 36, Rizal was executed in Bagumbayan, Manila in December 30, 1896. Jose Rizal's genius, fortitude, peaceful resistance to oppressions, and compassions are still honored across the Philippines today. Rizal had been outspoken in his criticism of the Spanish government, but in a peaceful and constructive way. He said that the pen was mightier than the sword for him, and he exposed the corruptions and wrongdoings of government officials as well as Spanish friars through his writings. Rizal published essays, poems, allegories, and editorials to the Spanish newspaper La Solidaridad while in Barcelona. The majority of his publication, including essays and editorials, focus on individual rights and independence, particularly for Filipinos. He also advocated for the Philippines to become a province of Spain as part of his reforms. But two books, No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo, stood out among his best works. Filipino students study his final literary work, Mi Ultimo Adios, as well as his two well-known novels. Why is it Rizal are worth it when he is a martyrdom? Um, when the Philippine Revolution, sparked by Rizal martyrdom, lasted until 1898, the Philippine archipelago beat the Spanish army with the help of the United States. On June 12, 1898, the Philippines declared independence from Spain, becoming Asia's first democratic nation. As he pursued a higher education, Rizal became more open about the Spanish government's harsh ruling, which reawakened his dormant nationalism and patriotism for his homeland. As a result, he studied extensively and attempted to fight the Spanish government through his writings, serving as a wake-up call to the Filipinos. As a student, I can claim that Dr. Rizal's characteristic and his legacy are all worth imitating, especially when it comes to studies and patriotism. His desire to study was one of the special when it comes to studies and when it comes was one of the most admirable qualities that we should emulate, because we all know that learning will mold and assist us in becoming better people and living a better life in the future, not just today. In the Philippines, college and institution even compel students to take a course centered on Rizal lives and writings. Every year on December 30, Filipinos honor Rizal lives and works by celebrating Rizal Day. Filipinos reflect on how his foundation of La Liga Filipina and these two nobles influenced the Philippine Revolution's early stages. His advocate for achieving liberty through peaceful means rather than violent revolution is also well known. Here are the reasons why do you think it is important to preserve Rizal legacy.
Why do you think it is important to preserve Rizal legacy? It is still important to study Rizal that he did for us, what we can do for our future as young people. Embarrassing time now that the most adult when who as Rizal is the only they know Rizal is our national hero. Jose Plutarcio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Riolonda, or better known as Dr. Jose Rizal, was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Laguna. He was the seventh of two siblings. His father was Francisco Mercado Rizal and his mother was Chidora Alonso Riolonda, a householder of hacienda and an accompanying rice farm by the Dominican. It is suggested that each student preserve as lesson and abdomination in the appreciation of Dr. Jose Rizal to appreciate his heroic achievement and make everyone aware that his contribution to life in our race has given way to nationalism, sweet love for the culture race, and encourage the people to love the country. Rizal deserved to be maintained because he gave himself for the gave of freedom. As students, it is clearer why we need to study Rizal. I found out more about the reason why he was called our national hero. The society that Rizal belonged to and our society we live in today are almost the same even though we are no longer under the Spanish rule. Many of us are still slaves to the culture of the other country. Rizal should not lose his legacy in order to better known as his generation. How he fought for the freedom for the Filipinos because it is needed of every generation and serve as guide sacrifice of Rizal. Because every future generation needs to know more about how our country had its history of freedom. And Rizal legacy should be better preserved because it is provide knowledge and security that he became an instrument why we became independent. Not only he is a national hero, but a father in the love of the Filipino people, and so that youth now know that Rizal is the foundation of the power of the condition and ignorance of the Filipinos, and to fight the enemies just to carry out his mission to protect the rule for the good of town. One of the Rizal sacrifice is made to us his legacy. Should read more and teach students that Rizal says, youth is the hope of the people. That the youth is the can better give the lesson learned and apply in life, and we can strengthen our patriotism. And we can learn to love our native with freedom and proud that we free from the sacrifice given by Rizal. So it is only right to value Rizal legacy and pass on the future generations.